Hey, all right. So I am really ill. Okay, I'm not really ill, but I'm pretty ill. My family and I have been fighting off the flu for the past, like, what seems like forever. It's been passing through all of my children and through my husband, and now it finally got to me. I thought I made it through, but I didn't. So it got to me, and now I'm dealing with that. So I look like garbage, but um, that's kind of the point for this little segment, and I really hope you can understand me now that I hear myself. I'm worried that this might be a little like hard to understand. Anyway, um, I was having a conversation with my brother-in-law a while ago, and it's made me reflect for a long time about something that has been, um, I guess, something that I've been having to deal with for a long time. Anyway, what happened was we were talking about like when we peaked, like when we felt like, like when you looking back at your life say, oh, well, I peaked at this point because, I was successful or, I don't know, just certain circumstances, you know what I'm talking about. So I mentioned to him that I felt like I had peaked when I was about 16, 17 years old in high school. And he was like, why? And I said, well, because I look back and I was like, I was beautiful, I was thin, I was smart, and he's like, well, what's your definition of peaked? And I was like, well, when you're the most beautiful and when are the thinnest and when you're whatever. And he's like, that's not my definition of peaked. I think peaked means this and this and this. And I can't remember what he said, but that's kind of irrelevant because what really stuck with me is how much um, um, I'm trying to think of the word. Um, okay, anyway, okay, sorry. Like I said, my brain's a little bit messed up, so just bear with me. But I realized how much stock I put in my lack of self-esteem back in the day, which is why I'm coming at you looking like garbage because I want to address self-esteem at this point. Um, Now, self-esteem is kind of a um, it's kind of a hard topic to represent because it means so many different things for so many people. But I realized that in high school had um oh my gosh, I'm still trying to think of that word. I put so much emphasis and so much value on how I looked that everything else didn't matter. Um so when I became an adult, when I started having babies, when I got into my 30s, um, things started kind of going downhill. For those of you who are 30 and over, you can kind of understand what I'm talking about. Um, Things started to sag. Um, I was gaining weight. Things weren't as even as they used to be. Um, and I realized that I was kind of losing my identity because I went to Cameron crying one day because I wasn't skinny and I wasn't smart anymore, and that was what defined me. That's the word, what defined me. Um and I had lost who I was. So my self-esteem had boiled down to knowing that I was smart and knowing that I was thin. So I didn't think I was pretty in high school. I mean, freak. I look back now and I was like, dude, I wish I looked like that now, but whatever. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. But the two things that I knew I had to be was skinny and smart. And I'm I'm not sure how scientifically proven this is, but I swear on everything that you get dumb when women get pregnant. They just like lose brain cells, and when they nurse, it's just like it gets worse. So, and it never gets any better. Is anybody else with me on this? I really hope I'm not the only one that feels this way, but seriously, I like lost major brain cells. Um, and so it was hard for me at first, but now I've come to really enjoy it because I learn new things all the time and it's awesome. But that's only because I've lost so many brain cells, which is fine. But for a while it was really hard for me, and then obviously having babies and I don't work out like I used to is totally my fault, but I'm not as skinny as I used to be. But I mean, I'm never going to be as skinny as I was in high school. But what I want to get at is that self-esteem is so crucial when it comes to combating your depression, because um, it shapes you. And if you get caught up in things that are momentary, like being thin or being smart, you're going to lose your actual character. Um, Character is who you are. So, um, I'm not going to go into listing off the things that I know that I am, but my point is that you need to figure out the things that are lasting and hold on to those things so that you're not just, momentarily gratified by certain things. So even if it means, you know, losing weight, like I've always had this problem where I'm like, hey, well, I'm gonna, like, I think I mentioned this in the last episode, like, I'm gonna lose weight by this time. If I do that, then what happens after? Like, I can't just um value myself based on what I'm going to be, or when I'm at that point, hoping that I can hang on to that. So things that are unwavering are like who I am as a person. Um, Personality changes are really hard to make. It took me a long time to change who I was from high school to who I am now, but knowing, like, for a while there, the only thing I had going for myself was knowing that I was a beloved child of God, and that was all I had to go on, and I could build from there. But it took me a long time to really love myself, to know that I had value. And I think that's where a lot of our problems as people who combat depression, I think that's where a lot of that stems from, is that feeling like you don't have any kind of value, or that you don't have any kind of um, worth. So if there's anything that you can get out of this, know that you are a beloved child of your Heavenly Father. Um, and that's, once again, whether you believe in Him or not, it's irrelevant. You're still loved by your Heavenly Father. Um, and also that it wasn't like you weren't just happenstance, that you have a purpose, you have a reason to be here at this time in this place. And you may not see it now, but if you only put value in momentary things, you're going to lose all of that importance as far as, how you can help society, how you can help people, how you can help others in your circumstance, that share your circumstance. That's kind of, why I started doing this project, is because I wanted to bring people together that may have similar issues. And, like I said, depression it's a really broad spectrum. Um, I think I've mentioned that before. It can stem from different places and it can manifest in different ways. But it's important to ultimately find value in yourself. Um, so I'm feeling a little swimmy in my brain, so I'm gonna cut a little bit short. But the point is that, I whenever I want to make these videos, I always want to make sure that my makeup's done and that my hair's done and that I look good, that, my clothes are on point, whatever. So part of me was like, well, I'm going to wait until after I'm better, or I'm going to wait until, I've done my makeup or something. But I knew that, I'm never going to feel like I'm worthy to talk to you guys. But that's the point. So, self-esteem, that's kind of where I'm getting at, is that if you're lacking self-esteem, if you're, lacking that feeling of self-worth, if all you can stem from at this point is knowing that you're a loved son or daughter of your Heavenly Father, then that's what you can cling to at this point. And then you can build on that after. So anyway, I'm going to go lay down. and get better. My husband is actually at the grocery store for me right now, and he's amazing in taking care of everything. So anyway, I'm actually thinking about starting a Facebook group, like a page, I guess, for all of this. It's going to be again thriving amidst the chaos, and I'm gonna start inviting people to that, and maybe we can get a decent following so that we can start discussions, share ideas, things like that. Um, but remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel as well, and like the video, share the video, give me, anything that can reach out to a broader audience so that we can open up about this. And I look forward to having more discussions with you. Thanks. Bye.